Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for booking with me, and thank you so much for your patience. You have no idea how much this batch kicked my butt. Like, I'm sure my clients that are waiting on me have either forgot or think that they're not gonna receive the reading. But no, here I am. I hope that this reading obviously finds you at a time when you need most, especially with everything that's going on right now. I've had like huge anxiety regarding the freaking elections, but that's for another time. So I'm going to tell you how I kind of do my readings and how I like process them. So basically what I do is I start with a little bit of astrology. I'm not a huge astrology major or astrology buff, but I do know a thing or two about it. I actually want to show you the book, but the book is like all the way thrown over there. So one of the books that I recommend people, I do read past life astrology books. Obviously that is an area that not a lot of readers go into, but it is very, very interesting to kind of combine astrology with obviously a past life reading, and that's why kind of I do it and why it takes me so long, because I also write a bunch of notes on like your placements and the book. I'm actually gonna like, ooh, sorry about this chair. This chair is literally like the squeaky boots from SpongeBob. I'm gonna invest in a really good chair. But anyway, so I use this book. It's called Past Life Astrology by Judy Hall. Now, if you don't know who Judy Hall is like an OG for like astrology. She has so many books. She's been an astrologer for I think like 20 something years. Like this lady's got her hands in the astrology bag. But she not only writes this book, she has what is it? It's Patterns of the Past and Karmic Connections. So it's kind of like a 3-part thing, but this is kind of like the beginning one if you're interested. This is kind of a beginner one, and it kind of tells you like a little bit about the placements and who you could have possibly been. So along with this, I also look at your chart. She does mention that when you have huge clusters, it's kind of a lessons that you have to repeat. And when I look at your chart, I was like, oh my god, like I don't even feel like you should be considered a Sagittarius. Like you have so much Aquarian. I was like, Jesus Christ. Now when I get a little bit into the astrology, I'll tell you a little bit about that. But if you're interested, that's your girl. I also take a couple of crystals that I kind of feel will resonate with your energy and what's going on with your life at the time. And then I obviously use not only tarot, but I also use oracle cards and like guidance cards. The decks that I currently am using, if you want to know, these are the Psychic Tarot deck. The this one is the King of Cups is back here. Oh shit. I feel like this card's gonna be relevant to you later, but this one is the Deviant Moon Oracle. Now this baby has been rocking with me for like, this was actually my first tarot deck, so let me put it up a little more. This is actually my first tarot deck that I ever purchased. So that's there. And if somebody tells you not to purchase a tarot deck, don't listen to them. That's gatekeeping though. We don't do that around here. The next one is the Past Life Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue and Brian Weiss. I'm sure you're familiar with maybe Doreen Virtue's work. She is kind of like an OG creator of oracle decks and cards. She eventually, if you want to know the drama and tea on her, you can Google. She eventually went to be like a radical I want to say evangelic or Christian, but she went to the dark side. And I say radical and dark side because of how like anti like her work she is, not because I think Christians are bad, but I think because of how like left she went, which is really, really crazy. But anyway, that's another story for another time. But she made this deck in conjunction with Brian Weiss. Now, if you don't know who Brian Weiss is basically the father of past life regression therapy. I feel like one of the things that makes me qualified to do this work is not only because I took past life regression therapy for obviously 2 years, and I am still in that process, but also because I went to physically see this guy. If you don't know his books, he has written a lot of past life regression books. He's written Many Lives, Many Masters, Through Time into Healing, Lovers of the Past. I think it's Lovers of the Past. Don't quote me on that last one, but I know the first 2 by heart. And if you're into reading his books, Many Lives, Many Masters was the first, and it's just an amazing, amazing book and an amazing, amazing read. I've reread and read that book so many times. It's insane. But anyway, I actually went to one of his seminars, and is this where I purchased this? I don't remember. I think I went to the seminar first, and then I purchased this. And this was about I want to say, woo, it was a good while ago. I've had this deck for a long time. If you're interested in purchasing this deck, I'm sure they make like bootleg copies of it, but like the legit ones are like $200, and I promise you it is not worth that much. So if you're ever actually interested, bootleg is the way to go. Same with some of the Doreen Virtue decks. I've seen some of like the, I think, what are they called? Love Angels Oracle. I don't know what it's called, but they definitely have that one going on. And I'm trying to pick up this other deck. This one's the one that I do spirit messages with, along with the mermaid one. I'm gonna actually show you both because I feel like I might do like a pull for you for both of them, depending on what I'm called to do. Now you will see me either stagger or stop mid tracks because I'm trying to decipher what the messages are in my brain. And I tell people, when you receive messages, like, it's gonna be pertaining to you, like me, but also to you, if that makes sense. So how I feel about a certain thing. Like let's say I get a vision of a hammer. It could literally mean, to me, the hammer means rebuilding. So to you, it could mean that you're rebuilding something else when I see that vision in my head. It's a whole complicated process, but if you ever see me staggering in these videos. So this is actually, what is it? The Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle. And this one is the Sacred Destiny. Now, I really like both of them. This one, messages can come out a little clearer than this one because it has like little written notes on it. Oh, I'm trying to show it to you. It has like little written notes on it, so it's a lot easier to decipher if you're ever wondering what I am using. Now I have sucked up almost 10 minutes, so this is why it takes me, first of all, I only do like 2 past life readings. I try to at least do 2 past life reading videos a day if I can, depending on my work schedule. But then other times I'm just freaking talking. But anyway, back to this. So, Judgment. We'll get back to that one too. So let's get into a little bit of the astrology portion. So over here I have my notebook that I told you I write everything in. I saw that you are a Sag Sun. Now Sag Suns are very free. I feel like these people, Sag peoples are very like liberated. They're very energetic. They're very hyper people. Like, they're always wanting to talk to people, always wanting to know people, and they kind of are always searching for meaning in their life. I feel like they are the embodiment of Jupiter in a different way than Pisces are the embodiment of Jupiter. They embody the qualities of expansion, of kind of making things bigger and better. Sages are not giving the credit that they deserve when it comes to being business owners, but they are very, very good at kind of retaining and creating. They also require structure, but a structure that they are comfortable with. Now, sometimes Sagittarians can confuse religion and spirituality because they do crave that structure and freedom, but that's the thing, structure and freedom. And sometimes they can kind of find it hard to find that balance within it, and so they can kind of not, I want to say, like they can kind of confuse the two. And I saw that you also have a moon in Leo. Now, moon in Leos, they can be my daughter's a moon in Leo. She values her feelings over others, not in a way like she takes more of, like, she finds more value in her, how do I say it? Let's put it this way. She wants her feelings to be first. Not that she overvalues her feelings, but it's a very me-centered sign. The Leo is a very individual sign. It's not that it's pompous or it's self-centered. It is that it's very aware of its needs. And Leo moons are very aware that they want to be loved. They want to be cared for. They want to be the center of attention. And that kind of can come to a disadvantage if they don't know their limits. Like, there would be either a lot of emotional manipulation or power play, depending on how self-aware you are of your moon sign. Now, I have a moon in Aqua. I kind of intellectualize my emotions more than feel them through, but that's just kind of a me personal thing. But yes, you always gotta make sure that you kind of know when you are kind of living more towards your moon sign. I always tell people, your sun is your mask, and well, technically your sun is your mask, what everyone sees, and your moon is the internal, the emotional, how you understand yourself. And I feel like that Leo moon in you wants all the attention, all the snuggles, all the cuddles, but you also got to remember that there's people out there with needs too, And yes, your needs can come first, but they also have to meet their needs as well. I think it's also like I feel like there's a dominance when it comes to your emotional needs, especially with that moon in Leo. They're also very loving people. I feel like you're a very open-hearted, loving person. That there is nothing that you won't do for somebody, but you also got to know your emotional limits. I feel like moons and Leos can give and give and give, and they can become emotionally worn out, and even become resentful if they don't receive what they thought they were going to receive if they kept on giving, if that makes sense. Now let's head into the big cluster that I saw. You had a huge cluster in Aquarius. Now Aquarius is the unconventional sign. Now I always tell people, when I see Sag and Aquarius is in a chart, you are either a monk, you are a nomad, or you are a philosopher. These people, like, from what I've seen in past lives, these people are very like, they kind of go the unorthodox way. I'm getting like Roman right now, so I don't know if you have like a life in Rome. I'm getting like Plato vibes, but they are the thinkers, they are the makers. And I feel like with that Sag Sun and Jupiter and that huge chunk of Aquarian and the unconventional, you're definitely going to be stuck in a lifetime. I feel like maybe there's going to be 2 lifetimes that come through. They're going to be like a pivotal point. I feel like maybe this is going to be more centered around your career and how you're living, and maybe that's why Judgment is here as well. Back to this Judgment card. I feel like right now it's going to be more about highlighting areas of your life. Now when I say Judgment, everybody thinks like judgmental, or kind of like I don't know, the Judgment card gets downplayed really badly, but I feel like it's more of bringing things to light. Like the Judgment card is kind of like a recalling. Like it's a kind of like showing you what needs to be worked on, and kind of bringing things into the light so that you can move past them, or you can decide what to do with them. And I feel like that's very much indicative of why the Judgment card was kind of like the first card to come out to me. Now, the crystals that I chose. Back to this. So when I see your energy, like I start picking out crystals that are kind of relevant to it. So I have here this is black tourmaline. This is ruby. This kind of reminds me of your Leo moon. We'll get more into that. And this is labradorite. So black tourmaline is not only a crystal of protection, it kind of wards off negative energy and it holds it. If you didn't know, this crystal can produce electricity. Like if I don't know how they did it, but I saw somewhere that like, I think they like rub this thing like hard enough, or they like put it onto something and it generates electricity. This crystal is like kind of like an energetic magnet, but it also kind of it's what I think the light does to flies. Like it will suck up any negative energy, and when it has come into contact with too much negative energy, it will break. And that's kind of indicative that it's done its job and it's protected you. So this crystal is great for like maybe like psychic protections or attacks. I don't know if you own a business, but I feel like most business owners need to have this around with them, just for the fact that it kind of like wards off that energy and it kind of keeps it off you. I don't know if you've ever been energetically drained, but you literally will fog yourself down. But yeah, this one called out to me, not only because of obviously its protective properties, but also because it's a very grounding crystal. Like it keeps you down. I feel like you have so much air in your chart. I don't know how you keep yourself grounded. I feel like your ideas and your thoughts can run all over the place, and it can be hard to focus on certain things, especially with that Sag Sun. That Sag Sun wants to get things done, wants to get things accomplished, but you know, your thoughts will roam you. Now this is ruby. Now ruby is a crystal for not just love and relationships, it's also finding truth. And I feel like Judgment and truth kind of like, I feel like there's revelations coming towards you, and that's why I'm getting Judgment here as well. There's certain revelations around your life that are kind of resurfacing, not only for like Scorpio season. I feel like Scorpio season is so like, it's a time of revelations, it's a time of life and death basically. Like Scorpio season has worn me out. But yes, and then it's also a crystal about trusting others. So maybe in the past you've been hurt and it's kind of still lingering, and maybe that's why you're being forced to kind of like uproot some of these feelings so that you can move on. It's also the crystal of determination and lucid dreaming. So I don't know if you're like working on trying to recollect your dreams more, or just you've had a dream that you're kind of trying to recollect, but this is your crystal. Now labradorite. Labradorite is also another crystal for protection, and it's also for like recalling Akashic records. Now, am I a big Akashic record practitioner? No, I am no what's her name? She's on Twitter. She's something with spice, but whatever. Her. She's like one of the bigger known Akashic Records practitioner. But yeah, I'm not big on the Akashic Records. I've only been there once by accident. But this is also a crystal that enhances your psychic awareness, and kind of decreases impulsive behavior. So remember what I said about that Aquarius and that Sag sun and even the Leo moon, like you could be very impulsive to your wants, especially your emotional wants. So I'm watching you. You could be very impulsive to those wants, and this crystal can also help you enhance your psychic awareness. So I'm not sure if you're trying to maybe channel some ancestors, get more into get more into the psychic world, or trying to receive more messages that pertain to what you're trying to do in your life. And even now it's like heating up in my hand. I might just hold it for the rest of the reading. But yeah, a great crystal for that. It is also like a past life crystal if you want to like recall some of your past life memories. This one, labradorite and kyanite. Now I always have a little like note around my kyanite, just so I can kind of like, you can't go somewhere without a map, and this is basically what I do with my kyanite. I kind of like put a little note in it so it can kind of direct me to where I need to go, if that makes sense. So now enough of my chattering. I've been talking for a good 16 minutes. I'm still gonna hold on to this crystal. He feels nice. And I'm gonna go right into the reading. Now I always tell people like this is like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Aang channels certain lifetimes whenever he needs to like whenever he has an issue, he channels a certain avatar that has already gone through that issue. Now this is very indicative of how past life work. They either you've already lived some of these issues, and they are either more heightened or more diminished depending if you learned the lesson. And that's the key word, depending if you learned the lesson. Now family members can come up. It just depends on how close your ties are with them. I always tell people that your family members are your most immediate karmic circle. They could be good or bad karma. It just depends on your relationship with them, and it honestly, you could tell by your relationships with them. Don't tell anybody I told you that. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so what past life is directly correlated? Ooh. What past life is directly correlated to Melissa's current lifetime? What past life is directly correlated? Ooh, girl, you got some daddy issues? I got some daddy issues. What past life? The authority figures part, kind of, I feel like right now you can, ooh, yes, honey. I feel like right now you can have, maybe like, ooh, all right, they ain't playing. All right, I guess this was the last stack. But, oh, shit. Like I told you, there's kind of like 2 lifetimes here. I'm gonna scoot some of these cards over. Okay, so let me show you the cards that I kind of received here. There are 2 lifetimes here. Ooh, ma'am, I'm gonna kind of show you how I feel these cards have been playing out. Okay, so what I got here, I have authority figures, I have health, I have father, I have orphan, I have unrequited love, I have scribe or writer. Remember what I said about that unorthodox part? I feel like maybe this kind of feels more like, man, what is it, like Roman? This feels like very Roman era to me. So if you're attracted to kind of like that Venetian, Venus, Rome lifestyle, this is where it's coming from. I don't know if you're into writing or into like maybe poetry, but this feels very much from that era. And then trees. Man, which one do I want to start with? Let's try father, authority figures, health, and orphan. This is all one lifetime, and this one is a different one. Okay, so I'm gonna start by kind of pulling some of the psychic tarot, but I can kind of already kind of see what is going on here. I feel like there's a heavy attachment to either your father or your father wasn't around. issues stemming your father could be surrounding you right now, just for the fact that I am getting father and orphan in the same place. I'm feeling like this lifetime was lived more towards like maybe like, I don't want to say, this kind of feels like plague era. So this is kind of more like England, more like towards like, I wish I had a map. I'm really gonna invest in a map, because every time I do past life readings, I kind of like pick up on certain places, but it just depends on it kind of just depends on like the energy that I pick up. But anyway, back to this. So I feel like this is more like Roman, Greece, because it might, I feel like it's France, like very much French. I'm gonna stick with France, but I feel like it's very like French in nature, because I'm picking up disease and plague. So and that's why health is also here. I don't know if you were a sickly child, but I feel like this is more towards that time, because I'm also picking up like Les Miserables vibes. I don't know if you've ever read that book, but I'm getting very much those vibes. I'm feeling like during this time you were, I don't know if I want to call it oppressed, but very much oppressed. Like, I feel like this was the time when the rich were ruling and the poor were obviously getting the second half of it. This feels like when the plague first started. And I don't know if you have a close attachment to your father or what type of relationship you have with him, but I feel like the relationship kind of, the type of relationship that you have with him kind of started from here. It feels like either you have a heavy attachment to your father, or your father is kind of just like on the back burner. And it feels like during this time you were not a child, but you were more around your teens, and this is when the plague started to break out, because I'm seeing like this is like an old like brick house. It's a very poor house. I'm getting like, I'm about to start drawing again. I'm getting very like one chimney, one table, one bedroom, and it's just you and him, and you were a little boy in this lifetime. And I feel like you have this like hat that you like to wear here, because I'm getting that, or it could just be like the hat in itself could indicate like many hats that you currently wear right now, or many jobs that you do take on right now. But it feels like you were like, yeah, you were like 13 or 14. This could be like relevant to your life right now. You were like a 13, 14-year-old boy, and I'm seeing you like leaving in and out of the house periodically. So I'm feeling like you're either working or you're working towards something. But I feel like this is also when the like, I don't want to call it the Black Plague, but it's feeling like that, started to break out. I feel like your father contracted it, because I see him working in like, it kind of looks like a coal mine, but it's not really. It feels more industrial. And he's working there, and I don't even feel like this is your father though. I feel like this is like your grandfather. Like, there could be like a heavy attachment to your grandfather, but I could be wrong. But it definitely feels like older male father figure. And he's being forced to work here. This is kind of like, there's like a contract here between him and someone else. So I don't know if he has like a brother that he feels indebted to, or somebody in his immediate family that he feels indebted to. But he's very much heavy under contract, and he spends a lot of time working. There's like 17 to 18 to like a ridiculous amount of time working, and you're kind of fending for yourself, and you're kind of trying to get yourself through school and stuff. But I feel like part of this man does not feel like, I don't know if your dad ever placed an emphasis on money, or there was a lot of money hardships, but because even here, it feels like it was kind of like an obstacle. And I felt like in some sort of way you could have resented him for not being there as often as you should have. In this lifetime, of course, but as often as he should have. But I feel like part of it was just kind of like the workload that he was taking on. So I have obstacles and challenges. I feel like you were kind of 13, 14 trying to get yourself into school. The money issues were here, though. I feel like this is why I see you leaving in and out of the house so often. I feel like you're trying to take on odd jobs to kind of compensate for the financial, to get yourself into school. The sacral chakra is here. Now, the sacral chakra is about more familiarity and creativity, and I feel like you were trying to do something, maybe a writer, and that's why I get scribe or writer. I feel like scribe or writer is going to be relevant in both of these readings, but I feel like you were trying to get yourself to be this writer. I feel like you were reading or trying to learn to read older material. And it's funny because I'm seeing this boy kind of like with dirt on his face, and I know that he's been working. Like, he's really, really like adamant about making something of himself in this lifetime, and unfortunately he's not going to get the chance in this lifetime. I feel like he does die around the age of 16 and 17 due to the current circumstances around here. I don't know if that was a very dark time for you as a teen, but 16 and 17 seems very relevant in this time and age. His father does die before him. Like, I feel like as soon as he turns 14, that winter, he passes away due to, you know, the plague. I'm calling it the plague, but it could be something else. But it just doesn't feel right. Like, it feels like there's a lot of like death and famine, and like this boy does fend for himself, and I feel like the debt that his father had accumulated took onto him. So I don't know if right now you have issues with authority figures, but I feel like whoever this person was that imposed this debt on him kind of placed it on you, this financial debt. They're like, your father is gone, so now the debt is yours. And now you kind of I don't want to say you lose hope, but you do keep journals. I don't know if you dream often of writing or keeping journals, or because I see like this little table and it's lit by one single candle. The candle is yellow. Oh, sacral is yellow. So I don't know if I'm getting like that creative spark or something, that's why I'm seeing a yellow candle. But it's literally lit by this one singular candle, and you're by a chimney. Now, your health does start to dwindle around late 16s. Like, your health starts to dwindle because you haven't been taking care of yourself. Obviously, there's like a disgusting like, what, I don't want to call it, like something roaming around out there very similar to our times now, that that kind of, you stop caring for yourself because you want to pay off the debt so you can continue going to school. You do stop going to school because you can't afford it. I feel like he felt very down and very sad because he felt like his dream in itself was kind of being taken away from him, and he kind of resents his father a little bit. But I don't really know why he accumulated this debt. I want to know why. I feel like the debt was partly to stay in the house. I feel like your dad has like a really karmic connection with this person. Like, it's gonna be, I don't want to call it your mom, but sometimes it could be like your mom, your grandma. Oh, well, that is no surprise. So I got the Star and I got Justice. So that to me feels like he accumulated this debt because he wanted better. I feel like he may have become, what is this, the seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles was there, I just didn't pick it up. But I feel like yeah. So I picked up not only the Seven of Pentacles, but the Seven of Swords. I feel like he accumulated this debt trying to gain better, but he might have gotten greedy in the process. I feel like he was trying to either build a business, or he was just trying to get you guys out of that poverty that you guys were in. And so he took on this debt thinking that it would kind of alleviate some of the burdens and get his life back on track, but he didn't think this through, and this person literally screwed him over. With the Seven of Swords energy here, I feel like whoever this person is, I don't know if they're relevant in your life right now, or it might resonate, or somebody comes to mind. They kind of really did a number on the relationship between you and your father, but also between his finances and his stability and stuff. But I feel like he was hoping for better, and he was trying to kind of, the Star here kind of makes me feel like he was trying to hope for better and trying to like make more financial means for both of you, and then he ended up getting backstabbed, and he kind of had to make amends. So that's where the justice card come in for the money that he did borrow or that he owed. I do see what it kind of looks like. I don't know if it's a print and press. I think maybe his idea was to make a newspaper, and kind of be like a self-publishing, do like a self-publishing newspaper. But that was definitely not what happened. I feel like there was just, he had accumulated too much debt. He didn't have enough money for the well, not a printer, but it's like a very old school like print and press. And everything kind of just went downhill. I feel like maybe if the debt hadn't been placed on you, you could have been something in this lifetime, but your health did dwindle and you did pass away. I don't know if you're particularly afraid of the dark, or you're like particularly a germaphobe, but it does feel like this lifetime kind of like did a number on you mentally. So that's one depressing lifetime. And sometimes these past life readings are kind of depressing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes they feel like a lot. Okay, so let's try the next one. Now, the scribe or writer one. Now, for this lifetime again, this lifetime kind of feels like, man, this lifetime feels ancient. Like, I'm getting like Rome or Greece. Like, it definitely feels, because I have trees here. So, between trees, scriber, and unrequited love, I feel like it's trees, right? There's not unrequited love. But I feel like during this lifetime, you're kind of more dedicated to, like, I felt like you found inspiration in nature, or you were more, maybe your surroundings were more outdoor. I do get like Colosseum vibes type thing. I don't know if you're particularly attracted to that area of history, like very Venus, very like, I'm getting like big Hercules vibes. Like, I'm definitely getting like I don't know if you've seen that scene where Meg is outside, and they're about to battle that centaur thing. I feel like it's like a big pond and there's like trees and stuff. I feel like that's where you secluded yourself to do some hard thinking. You feel more philosophical in this life, which kind of explains to me all that Aquarian knowledge. But I feel like in this lifetime you get pursued for that knowledge. You can never think too hard in these past lifetimes, because they will automatically point the finger at you and say like, you gotta go. You also have unrequited love here, so I want to know who this is. I'm nosy, girl. I need to know. I feel like I could be another fire sign. Ugh, what if it's another Sag? Oh man, I feel like it's gonna be I feel like maybe this was more in like your younger years. I don't know how old you are now, but I'm getting the Page of Pentacles reversed. So this was it feels like somebody young, unexperienced. But I'm also getting the 8 of sorry, I got a cramp. I'm also getting the 8 of Wands. So it hurts. Sorry, I just got the horriblest cramp. So I feel like this person could either be somebody very young, unexperienced. It could be a Capricorn, Taurus. I'm gonna say this feels more like a Taurus, just because the cape kind of sticks out to me, and it kind of feels like luxury and beauty, and I'm getting like very like maybe it's a Taurus that came here. And then the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands kind of throws me off, because the 8 of Wands is very much like victory, success. But I feel like at first the relationship was going in that direction, and then you realize that maybe they were a lot less. Yeah, because I feel like you get some sort of revelations about this person. I feel like you eventually figured out that maybe, I feel like this person talked a lot about money. Like, I don't know, money keeps coming up. Is everything okay? I feel like this person talked a lot about money and what they wanted to do with their life, and they kind of put this charade up that they were XYZ, and then they turned out to kind of like, I don't know if you've ever read that thing that's like, instead of a shiny knight, I got a loser in a tinfoil. I feel like this was your loser in a tinfoil. Like, I feel like he presented himself to be this like, this bougie, like, art, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, he feels very bougie, like, ooh, look at me, like, I have money, and I have status, and I have class, and, like, I know what to do with my money. And then you realize that this man has no idea what the heck is going on. And I feel like the relationship in itself kind of went this way in your current lifetime, or it will go this way in your current lifetime. This can also be another fire sign. This could be a Leo because of the wands. I feel like it could either be, I'm getting strong Taurus vibes though, so I don't know if it's a Taurus with maybe like a Sag moon, but I'm getting strong Taurus vibes from this person. So if you haven't dated a Taurus, please watch out for this man. I feel like this person kind of lured you in. You are a man in this lifetime, ma'am, and men are weak. But I'm glad you're a woman now. You're a man in this lifetime, and you kind of get like persuaded by them. You feel like I feel like they were just playing games though. In this lifetime, you were doing some heavy thinking, and this person was doing some heavy looking at you. Like, I feel like they're like peering behind the tree. It feels like very Venetian, very romantic, but at the end of the day, this person just kind of like screws you over. I feel like they steal your writings and stuff, and they get credit for it. Let me see what's going on here. It very much feels this way. It feels like they kind of know that they have like, oh yeah, man, number 5 is very significant for you. So I know that you're maybe going through some sort of transition in your lifetime. Ooh. Let me see. Okay. So I have positive movement forward, moving on. See, there's a lot of movement going on for you. And then I have the throat chakra. So I feel like you need to speak up about something. You need to either put your foot down about something that's going on in your life or your professional career. And if they're not going to give you what you want, you need to move on. And when you do start moving on, there's going to be like a positive change in your life. Like maybe there'll be more abundance, maybe there'll be more work, but regardless, there's going to be more for you out there. And I feel like this way this lifetime is coming through. This person kind of made it seem like they were going to offer you the world. That I feel like they have connections though. I feel like even in this lifetime, they had connections. And that's why you kind of like, okay, they're not only this beautiful and regal, but they also have connections that can help me in my work. And I feel like this is where that downfall came. Like, I feel like they kind of like played you for a fool type thing. I don't know if right now you have dreams of being in beautiful landscapes or like marble coliseums, but they kind of played you for a fool. They feel like they promised you all these things. They promised you notoriety and like your name being out there. And in reality, I feel like they took your work, like your notebooks. Not even notebooks. I don't know if you see the picture that's on here, but they kind of just took your stuff and claimed it as their own. And this doesn't feel like a little bit of stuff. It feels like big cartons of things. Like it feels like journals and like, because I'm seeing your house and it looks, at first there's like a lot of like stuff, and then it like everything's empty, and you come home and you're shocked and none of your stuff has your name on it. You felt like, I feel like that's why throat chakra is here too. Like I felt like you felt your work wasn't good enough, or that it wasn't worthy, but this person felt like it was worth something, and they do get something out of it. You felt like your work wasn't worthy enough, or it wasn't good enough, and then I feel like that's why throat chakra is here. Like you have to speak up for your work, and it kind of just gotten taken away from you like in an instant. I feel like you've been robbed of your, like, not your destiny, but I feel like you've been robbed of what you could have had by people in this lifetime. And maybe that's kind of your lesson right now. I feel like maybe you need to either set more firm boundaries and let yourself take the spotlight again. And I feel like that Sagittarian Moon and Leo combo is kind of telling you that you deserve the spotlight and that you should be able to own up to that spotlight. And I feel like maybe that's where you are now. You need to make sure that you own up to your gifts and where you want to be in life. This man was very depressed. I feel like he lived a long life. I feel like he lived in like late 50s, but he stopped writing. Like I feel like that was one of his biggest regrets, was to stop writing and to kind of let his dream die when this happened. And this feels like this happened in his like early to mid 20s. Like it definitely feels like that's when this like little karmic relationship turned out. Like he was very heartbroken. I don't feel like he picked up another pen or feather, but yeah, I feel like that's why you're going through what you're going through right now. But let me see. I'm gonna ask like, what lessons did you take from this lifetime? Oh, what did I say about those boundaries? Wow, I got the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is always like a clear cut, no emotions. Not no emotions, but she just gets to the bottom of things. Like, I feel like that's what needs to be you. And reverse is the King of Swords. So I don't know, I feel like they're kind of contradicting each other in some sense. But at the same time, I feel like it's still about boundaries. It's still about your thinking and your processing. So I feel like you kind of gotta cut out whoever doesn't need to be there, whoever's kind of staggering you, and kind of speak up for yourself. Speak up for yourself in a way that I feel like the Queen of Swords is very good at speaking through thought rather than emotion. And I feel like maybe right now you can be over emotional about like you and your goals and what you want to achieve, but I feel like you need to speak with facts rather than feelings. That's a lesson right there. Speak with facts rather than feelings. I'm about to quickly tweet that, but I'm gonna pull some messages for you from my mermaid oracle. What message do we have from Melissa? Wait, ooh, what'd that say, ma'am? Fire, Father, healing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I have weight, protection. Remember what I said about that crystal, and then treasure chest. So when I see weight, it says don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. I feel like in the beginning, that's where judgment was kind of coming through, and that's where that moving on card came in as well. I feel like there's choices for you. There's decisions that you need to make, and you have to have your best interest. It's not everybody's best interest, though they will come later, but it's what you need right now. And then I have protection. It says that your loved ones are safe and are protected, but I feel like it's also telling you to up your own personal protection, whether that's mental, emotional, physical protection. I feel like you need to up your protection. Maybe there's people out there that are trying to leech off your connections, or leech off your creativity, and you need to make sure that you protect that. And then it says treasure chest. An unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you. But again, this comes after the weight and the protection. I feel like this is very much indicative of those last three cards that it said moving on and then new blessings. Like, I feel like it's kind of all going in one another. Is this right here? Yeah. Moving on and then positive movement forward. I feel like once you start like letting go of things little by little, it doesn't obviously have to be like a grand just cut everybody off, never speak to anybody again. I feel like it's a little by little changes, and even maybe these are changes within yourself. You'll get to that place where I feel like the place that you're going to get to is a place where you're going to be able to create freely. I feel like that's a big thing for you, like freedom of creating. Like, your creativity can be limitless and boundless, but you need to kind of create boundaries for how much you do share with other people. I feel like that's a big thing for you. I feel like that's it. That's the end of my reading. I've been talking for 43 minutes, and if you need anything, please reach out to me through Twitter or just email me. However, I hope that this reading reached to you in the time that you needed it, and thank you so much, and I will see you later.